are live.
Well, hello there. Carol Dockum here with beautifulfacesgoingplaces.com. And we are continuing our business spotlight series. And our special guest today is one of our success team members here at Beautiful Faces Going Places. Her name is Natalie Reeder with a niche of nature and Youngevity. She is a health and wellness advocate. And I'm really excited to interview Natalie and have her showcase how she helps her clients with boosting, I should say, supporting their immune systems. So Natalie has over 40 years of education and leadership, providing the foundation for A Niche of Nature, which is her company. She provides education through workshops, presentations, and personalized individual consults in applying natural solutions for their health, taking your health challenges and transforming them into wellness solutions. She really is creating betterment in your business and home to be well and to live well and to live a healthy and wealthy lifestyle in business and in your personal health and wellness and being. So please help me welcome Natalie Reeder. Hi there, Natalie.
Hi, Carol. Great to be here today. Thank you.
Yeah, it's wonderful to have you here. I know you and I have known each other for several years now, and just in networking in general. And so our paths have crossed in many ways. And you're always such a ray of sunshine when you walk into a room, and so warm and welcoming and supportive of everyone. And I love your company name, A Niche of Nature. So tell me, or tell us, how did your vision come to life, and where did A Niche of Nature come from?
Gotcha. So as the child, my mom and dad had three girls, and I was the closest thing to the sun, as I was the tomboy that was climbing the trees and riding my bike through the trails and creaking and all those kind of fun things. So being outside and loving nature has always been very heartfelt and just a part of me. I started my teaching. Yeah, it was always something, what do you want to be when you grow up? And teacher just was an automatic, and became an early childhood specialist, spent a lot of my time in the leadership and education there. And I love those aha moments when anybody finds that, oh, I didn't know that, or, oh, wow, that is so cool, or guess what I can do. So as my time has gone, I always enjoyed that passion. But at the same time, it was always important to me that in my work, that I was making sure that a foundation was solid and being laid. And as you are with young children, sending those developmental pieces, it's the whole child. You can't just compartmental, it's the whole child. So making sure that that foundation is there so that that whole child can develop has always been where I come from, and how my mission has and passion has always been. As I moved out of the classroom and into my new business, was taking a class for environmental education, and we had to create a Facebook page back in the days when it was just me. Created this one, and we didn't go live, it was back there, and people would say, oh, you've got so much, but you need to pick a niche. And I just thought, a niche? I help people with their niches, and just happened to go across my things and saw this old page that said A Niche of Nature, and I went, that's it. I love nature, I love education, and my niche is that, but my service is to help people with their niches. So it's individualized, it's personal. Some people have a big project, some people have a little piece. So that's where that brought me to today. So I'm excited to help let that grow and really, be here to serve people in that way. So
I love that. I love how, I mean, your company name actually has a history and a story behind it. And here you are in fruition. I know, I'm thinking about several years ago when we first met, you had this passion, and it's still there, which I admire so much about you. And you were trying to figure out a way to bring education to the table and to educate on health and wellness. And that is your teaching background, really, that is instilled in you, a desire to really teach, inform, educate, and help families, individuals with health and wellness. So I just think it's so awesome because I'm seeing you now doing a lot of your online trainings, which using Zoom, which is so awesome. And excited to have you here on this platform, our visibility platform, so that you can start educating and providing that service and that value. Because right now, more than ever, we really do need to focus on our health. I think if anything, one of the outcomes of this global pandemic is really health. It has really stopped a lot of us in our tracks. And the focus really is on health and wellness, building our and supporting our immune systems. And so what are some ways that individuals can begin to really internalize that and supporting their immune system so that we can fight off, viruses and bacteria and germs and all that stuff.
Sounds good. So if you know that your immune system is the only defense mechanism that your body has against all the pathogens, whether they're easy to come by or like this COVID has really hit a lot of people in a different way. It's your body's ability to be able to combat that. And so we think of eating right. Well, eating right changed when Thomas Edison created the light bulb. And it's one of those, I don't think people would have thought of that. When we switched from wood fuels to electricity, we stopped burning and putting nutrients, the ash of the woods, back into the soil. And just by happen chance of the way things, change with tides, we lost that natural component that kept our soil with the good things. We can plant plants all day long, but if the nutrients aren't in there, those plants, the carrot we eat today is so almost 60 some percent deficient in the nutrition it used to give our grandparents. Mm-hmm. So keeping that in mind, we've reached that point where we can eat well, but we're not getting what our body needs. And so we do have to create a supplement, a plan. As somebody said, you can't out supplement a bad diet. So when we're thinking about our immune system, things like fruits and vegetables and eggs are great. There was the big deal about no eggs, no butter, but those are two of the best things for you. And it's not just the egg white, but the egg yolk. So those have those proteins and nutrients that we need on a daily basis. And many people can just even look up what you call antioxidant properties. When we talk about antioxidants, there's so much in the air we don't even see. The stresses that we go through, both in our own cause as well as the work and things we're in, those are toxins to our body. And we need to obviously hydrate, that kind of thing, but we need to be giving our body that, I guess you could say, filling up that gas tank. You know how it is when we're running close to fumes. We're just not as vibrant, not as strong as we could be. So making sure we're eating the right kinds of foods. Sleep is huge. We hear a lot about meditation and mindfulness. It's because it's being an assumed thing that we're forgetting to put time into. We need the quiet. We need the rest. We need that off switch so that we can be recharged and replenished to continue. So a lot of that time to be kind to yourself, give yourself a lot of grace, especially in this time when there's a lot of fear and uncertainty. We've been bombarded with so much information. Our own filters are a little plugged up. So take time to just look through things, take your time to rest, get out and walk. I mean, yes. I have one of my favorite books called Vitamin N, Vitamin Nature. We need to get out there. One of the best sources, now that it's finally nice enough, is vitamin D. And the best source and the best way to get that is sit outside for 20 minutes. Arms and face, just getting it through your skin is the best place that absorbs. So just getting yourself out and moving is going to be a big part. Eating right. There's more details on that, but it's just being mindful of the kinds of things, avoiding a lot of the processes. We've heard lots with friends of ours that have had cancers and stuff. The sugars are just waiting to be a troublemaker. So minimize those kinds of things that they might be kind of our sweet tooth, but minimize some of those things so we're eliminating those easy triggers that some of those pathogens like to grab onto. So
yes. Wow. Well, I just want to say, I mean, there were some words that really that you just shared that really resonated with me right now, and that was give yourself some grace and self-care, particularly with everything that's going on in our world. Not only a health pandemic, but a social pandemic that is just creating this craziness, and socially.
And
And
people are meant to be with
we
people.
I'm sorry.
And people are meant to be with people.
Yes, we are. Exactly. I know I was thinking of, I saw a quote the other day about there is only one race, and that is human race, right? And I
Absolutely.
so truly believe that. And we do need to spend more time in gratitude and giving love and kindness and compassion and understanding, to make this world a better place, because this is our home for all of us, all of mankind. But there were a couple of words that really hit home with me, and you said grace, to give ourselves grace. And it's okay, if we're feeling overwhelmed or stressed with uncertainties, take that time for yourself. Go for a walk, unplug. I'm telling you, unplug from social media, from the news, and just give yourself a timeout, and turn off your emails, whatever it is. Just unplug and take that time for yourself, to go for a walk, to pour yourself a bubble bath, or I mean, just take care of yourself. It is okay, because that'll help rejuvenate you, right, and give you the
Absolutely.
strength so
Right.
that
We
you
often
can
don't think
carry
about
on.
that, that
Yeah.
we are what we eat, in the sense
Mhm.
that our body counts on us to be able to handle our stresses. I mean, stress is good. We have good and bad. But if
Yes.
we're not filling up our tanks and making sure our body has what it needs, we start, the skin does things, the hair does things, and it's
Yes.
because the body's saying, I'm missing some pieces.
Yes.
Please fill those holes.
Right, right, exactly. And you're right. Stress affects us not only internally, but externally, right? It shows up in various ways.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, hair, skin, nails, aches and pains.
Things we never thought we have all of a sudden start, the dominoes start going. And
Yes.
I think that's one of the things that, I'm always looking for new knowledge. And somebody introduced me to a doctor who has spent a lot of time in his studies and his research. Might date myself, some of us. There was a show when we were little called Mutual of Omaha's Animal Wild Kingdom.
Oh, I
And we
remember
had
that one.
Dr. Perkins, right? Dr. Perkins was very much of the naturalist, looking at what's missing in these environments, that animals are having diseases and issues, and the progression of things, what's happening. The doctor behind that, who was doing the research and the studies of the elements and the autopsies to find out what was missing, realized all living things need 90 nutrients. His name is Dr. Joel Wallach, and he spent his life on helping people understand that, developing what are those 90. It's minerals and vitamins and amino acids and omegas, and that whole part. We hear a lot about it out here, but that's fractionated. And he created this whole that said, here's the base. This is what we all need just to have our baseline. And it just really intrigued me to go, oh, I think I better look at that. And he broke it down into 4 categories: that all of our bodies have hard tissues, the
Mhm.
bones and joints, our soft tissues, the organs, things, our blood sugars, the way we absorb and process, and those kind of things, and then our digestion. We hear lots about digestion, which can be
Yes.
stress and nutrition affected there. And if we think about it, those are the 4 categories that everything, 80% of all diseases and illnesses that we have ever heard of fall into those categories. So if we understand which one is our weak link, we can fortify that. We can build that up, because then the others don't domino down on us. And a lot of times our gut is the basis. So it's important to just understand that, to know, okay, I have this, but am I making sure all my puzzle pieces? We talked a little bit, there was an analogy of a cake. If you bake a cake, we have certain ingredients. If we're baking one from scratch, use that analogy. There's sugar, there's salt, there's flour, there's water, there's eggs, there's all the ingredients, the yeast, all those things. it needs it to be a good tasting cake. If we think, I just won't forget, I'll forget the salt or the yeast, or I'll only use one egg, maybe two.
Take some shortcuts, right?
Yeah, well, let's take some shortcuts, and it either doesn't turn out or it tastes really horrible. And that picture made such sense to me to go, I don't have to hit the organic shop all the time, but I can be mindful of
Mhm.
how am I baking my cake? How am I making this cake look its best, be its best, live the longest, be the best? I have two grand boys I need to chase around.
Right.
But if I'm mindful of that, I make sure I have all those ingredients so that my cake turns out pretty good. So
Well, your cake is looking pretty good, Natalie.
still some work to go.
Oh, no, I love that analogy. So, and you're right. It is all the ingredients, right? That we're putting into ourselves, into our bodies, that is producing the results. So,
Yeah.
from the inside out.
Mhm.
Yes. So, what are some of the assessment tools that you have available to help your clients determine kind of what's lacking, what's needed, and how they can improve upon, or where they can improve upon?
Okay, sure. Um, I was introduced to a company called Zyto, which it's been in the field. A lot of other companies use it. It itself is not the health company, but they provide a technology that allows you to do what they call a galvanic skin response, non-invasive, and it basically does that reading. And our body is constantly recalibrating as our moments go. We could take it now, half an hour later, it'll be different because our body is constantly adapting and
Mhm.
serving our needs. But
Right.
what it does is it lets us look at in the whole systems, is it a digestive, skeleton? Just kind of gives you an overview. It's not diagnostic, it's not prescriptive, it's strictly part of that screening of one more piece of information. I like to say it's, if I could, when we go to a doctor, we're asked questions, we give symptoms, we give how we're feeling, when things are what they're and whatever. If our body could do that same thing, that would be a whole nother set of information. And that's what the Zyto does. And it just looks something like this, just a very simple hand scanner that has pads that, connects to the software. And it just gives us direction. It's something people can take to their doctors and say, hey, what does this mean? Or what can I do about this? Um, Youngevity is the company, I call it my toolkit. Um, they have developed a health evaluation system that does the same thing from our questions. So, say in a 30-day period, it'll ask you questions about hard tissue things, aches and pains, kidney stones. Do you have a gallbladder? I don't. So, I have to make sure I'm adding enzymes in because that piece isn't there anymore. Soft tissue, having trouble with blood sugars, things like that. And then even digestive. So, it lets you, again, give yourself an overview of here's what your body is saying at this moment in time. And then it says, all right, let's put some things in it. Are we giving it the 90 it needs just to have that full palette? And then if we have a particular issue, what are some things that we can support that? There's a neat analogy of a sunflower, which I kind of brought into the theme here. That if we think of the stem of the flower as our place that we need that plant-derived minerals, the nutritional goodness comes up through the stem. The center of the sunflower is all those 90. We need those 90 between our food and our supplements. We need to put that back together. And then the petals become the things that maybe in blood sugars issues or arthritis or some other situation that comes by our world, those then could be the support to make all of that work. So that's kind of a neat picture to just kind of get. We need to have the plant derived no matter. We need to get those 90 back in there, and then we can support it with the petals. So kind of a picture image there for you.
I can picture it. And I love sunflowers. Um, well, I think a little birdie told me that you are actually getting a new certification, which is really cool.
Yes.
So what is that going to look like? And
All right.
share a
So
little bit about that.
all right, so I'm currently part of Applied Aromatic Institute, which is a certification for aromatherapy because essential oils have a great place in this. They support your nutrition, they support the way you're working with things. And so that's a certification that should be finished by the end of this year. It's taken a little longer with some life things, but So I'll have a certification in aromatherapy. It'll be a level 2. When people are aware of that, there's an intro level, but my certification will be that level 2. But then part of Doc Wallach's help to make the world better, created the Institute for Holistic Health. And it's the whole, meaning not the holistic as the HOL practices, but the whole. And so it's a health certification course. So it'll be a health coach certified through that helps with that whole nutrition of the wellness and how does exercise fit in and where does the nutrition and just that whole component that really helps support people do that. So kind of excited with the brand new certification that's going to be open. So
that's really exciting.
Another 6 or 7 weeks. So.
Okay. So there's another tool in your tool belt, right? Of how you help your clients and in your practice of health and wellness. So that's really exciting.
Those have always been integrity pieces. As a teacher, you had professional organizations that you're a part of, much like many of us are in business organizations.
That's right.
It builds our integrity, our reputation. It makes us stay current and present in the thing so we can serve our clients the best. So I'm happy to have those two be part of my things that I can add to say, all right, I'm in this new teaching field. Here are my credentials that say, this isn't just a good idea. I've done some studies and it's important to me that I can pass that on to people.
Right, right. No, I think that's fantastic, Natalie. So do you have any upcoming trainings or workshops that you'd like to share with our audience? And I know I'd like to get you on the calendar for July here at Beautiful Faces Going Places. Our focus in July will be total virtual online visibility for our success team members and our members here in our organization. So I'd like to get you on our calendar for July, but I don't know if you have anything else going on. You're more than welcome to share. So if anyone is interested in learning more from Natalie.
Okay. Sure. Definitely. We'll have my contact information, a niche of nature at gmail.com is the number there. I will have the Niche of Nature website should be launching sometime this summer. It'll be a great landing page for the education that I do still for children, the wellness, a lot of the aspects that I do to help people with their niche. With us beginning to be able to meet again, I'll be able to do some of those consults. Right now I can do the Zoom health evaluation with people. So we have things we can do it virtually. I'm going to give it a try. The Aroma Share is an introduction to oils and what they are, how they work, how to make them, how to mix them. So that would be another one that I want to definitely put out there that people can take a step in and kind of look at how they can understand how oils work and what's a synergy and what's a music. We use high notes and middle notes and bass notes, little musical there, but just some of those things. So I want to be able to provide that if people are interested. If you've got a small group that would like to learn some more, that would be another opportunity. But now that we're able to start doing that, I really clipped my wings when it's all about being in touch with people, that I'm really happy that we're getting past that and we can bring some of that stuff back out to people. So.
Well, that's fantastic, Natalie. I can't thank you enough for joining us today on our Business Spotlight series here at beautifulfacesgoingplaces.com. You can also find Natalie's contact information and her business profile on our website. And when we wrap up here below, Natalie, if you don't mind, please share your contact details in the comments below when we wrap up. And if you like information or you've got a training you'd like for Natalie to facilitate, reach out to her. She is, as you can see, totally passionate about a niche of nature. So thank you so much, Natalie. Have a great day.
All right. Here we go.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.